Hello, and welcome back to Roll For It, where favorite YouTubers streamers apparently get together in real life and play an unreleased tabletop RPG.
Wait, how did you get in here?
Who are you people?
They came in, I couldn't stop them, there were too many.
They abducted me. Yeah.
We just haven't left yet.
I can't get rid of them, yeah.
According to my logs, I've been here for an entire year.
Home is where the Wi-Fi automatically logs in.
Yeah.
Which, considering your Wi-Fi,
I log into a lot of places automatically.
you got a lot of homes.
Yeah, that's true. Aw, that makes it sound much more lovely.
Yeah, there you go. Rather than you don't get your Wi-Fi to forget. Right, anyway, so today we are playing the Alien RPG, which comes out on the 10th of December. It's not out yet, it is out in 9 days' time, and we've got a little bit of early access from Free League Publishing, Free Illegans, so thank you very much to them for allowing that. We have the system we'll be going along, and we'll be explaining it as we go, because obviously it's new to us, and it's new to you guys at home, probably. Because of that, if we do make some small fuck-ups, that might happen, and we'll try and carry on. But as said, new rule set, so we'll be doing our best.
We'll call them happy mistakes-y. Happy mistakes.
Happy mistakes. We make happy mistakes, as opposed to the sad mistakes when I accidentally kill you all.
That won't be an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that really an accident?
No, it's not. It's
I don't
not.
think it's an accident.
It's deliberate. Right. Okay. In which case, I'll hand it over to Maggie to deal with any little announcement things we've got, because I think we've got some fire stuff and other things going on. So, Maggie, take it away.
First things first, we raised way over the amount that we were trying to during our Star Games championship, which was crazy. We raised over $8,000, which is absolutely nuts. So thank you to all of you. You're one.
Yeah. We are less
amazing.
than $400 from double last year.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is nuts. And we were worried we would even break our last year one. So we're like, oh, we'll try for a little bit more. And thank you so much.
Yes, amazing.
We will have that open until Monday, so you have all till the end of today to still donate. If you didn't get to catch it, we wanted to make sure that people could still donate if they want. Remember that donating is tax deductible in certain places, so be sure to get in on that, because you're helping a lot of vulnerable people through doing so. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you. There were a lot of people who stayed the entire time. Props to you, because that was almost 10 hours.
I tried my best.
Yeah.
Well, we had to. So thank you guys so much. We will be cutting that up into 2-hour sections, and those will be up on our YouTube. We're gonna have a lot of content, and because of the way YouTube works, uploading 2 videos a day can sometimes be not the best for us. So we're gonna see how that's gonna work, but that will start Monday. So obviously today we're not gonna have a video going out. Just keep that in mind. And then we also launched our merch. So yeah, you guys have been waiting for that for a while. We got through our trademarks, which was a long process, but we now have a merch store, so you can go check that out. It's with Design by Humans, so designbyhumans.com/roll4it. Which is awesome. Right now we just have a lot of our Roll For It logos on things, but we are also working on a Shadow of Duskfall and Silence of Shadows. Shadows of Silence. There we go.
Silence of Silence?
Silence of silence.
Silence of Shadows.
I blame E about that. I came back from my vacation. I was like, why'd you name another show with the word shadows in it?
3 shows in a row.
I'll buy a Silence of Silence shirt.
I would buy a Silence of Silence
Yeah.
shirt in a heartbeat.
Don't worry, there might have been pins that were Silence of Silence.
Oh, I want a shirt that says Silence of Silence in the library.
That would be funny. We will be having those designs. We have 2 designs, one for each of those shows that will be coming out in December, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. And yeah, I don't know, we're really excited. We have more stuff planned, so we'll have more merch up on the store as it continues, and obviously we'll let you guys know whenever those are live. Our Patreon has a whole bunch of goodies and goblins, so definitely go over there. You still have time to give us feedback on our goals and our tiers. Those will be wrapping up after Roll For It Con. And we also are going to have a little behind the scenes vlog that you guys are going to get to see if you're patrons. So all you have to be is the party tier and above, and you can get access to that. That will be coming out whenever Bentham edits it. I got to transfer all the footage to him. And then
That is the face of a man who knows exactly what's going on.
Oh no.
What? Me?
Yes.
Wait, when Bentham edits the thing. Okay, so that should be out in 2023.
Listen, it can be a remember what happened last year for next year's thing.
no.
Really? You're going to promise to do it in a year?
Oh, that's
If he doesn't do it, I'll do it.
It's It's a race.
Maggie's gonna do the video editing.
I think that kind of covers a majority of the things. If you like what we do here and you want to support this and have us be able to meet up with each other again, because most of the time we don't get to see each other in real life, which is always exciting. I think it's a different experience for tabletop.
Plane tickets are expensive.
Yes. We would really appreciate your support, and you can support us on Patreon. We have a whole bunch of rewards for you if you are a patron. And then also on our Twitch here, you can subscribe to us, and I'm sure if we can get some roll love in chat, you can see we have some awesome emotes. We'll be adding more as we hit another goal, but we are like 400 away from that. No, like less than that, 300 something away. We were so close earlier.
So what I'm
Little
hearing
less
is that
important.
all of you should go get a friend and bring them to the Roll For It stream right now.
Okay, step 1. All of you should get a friend.
Yeah. Step 2, bring them.
Be cool.
What I did love is when we got to meet people for Roll For It Con, because we do a meet and greet every year. Well, we've been so far, if we can afford it. Is just seeing everybody get together and formulating friendships, and some of them were forming like viewing parties, which I thought was really cute.
Yeah, it was like meeting all of you was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
And then, of course, if you want to follow us in other ways that helps support us in a non-monetary means, because we appreciate that as well, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, right here on Twitch, subscribe to us on YouTube. All of those things go a long way in helping us grow, especially if we want to get other companies to notice us so we can get access to books and things of sorts, like Alien RPG earlier. And I think I've covered everything. If I missed something, someone in chat will let you know.
Go share the tweet, guys.
Yeah, go retweet our tweet.
That's an easy way.
Yeah, go share the
Easy way.
Actually, right now, those of you who actually have a friend who isn't watching, go tell that friend to watch.
Tell your parents. Grab
Tell
a
them
cousin.
And if you only have
like Alien.
And your cat.
Yeah.
I love seeing the cat photos of people watching with their cat and their cat's
If you have a cat watching you right now, picture, tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet at us.
retweet it.
Make sure they're pouring E's face. Like,
Right.
bah, bah.
There you go. If you can just get that right on, nice little picture, well done. I will send you a badge of some kind. Right.
That means I have to manage that. That's again.
Maggie will send you-
promising things.
We're going to.
Damn the man.
So heads up, we have all the things ready. We have a very crudely made GM screen that I quickly printed out bits of. Thank you, Maggie, for allowing me to use your GM screen to stick
I
it
just
to.
brought my D&D one, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you can slide any papers you want in it. So
Yeah. We have bits that are all printed out, and then my printer died halfway through. So some of this will be done via the miracle of me sending Discord messages. If you see the cast on their phone, they're probably looking up exactly how devious their character is.
we're not.
They're not
trolling the internet.
sexting or something. I mean, there might be. But,
I think there might be a couple.
It is the
me out like
future
that, though.
EE.
I mean,
You jealous?
no, you're the one
what
sending
I
me the
heard.
sex
Wait, I
yesterday.
have a question. Do we have cell service down here?
I don't.
I do.
No, I meant
Not
down
in-
here in
I
our
don't.
world.
I probably
Europa.
don't. It's
Yeah,
just like in
Europa.
Oh, I thought you'd be down here in our pants or something. I was like,
You made this.
Listen, I'm not getting enough service.
I couldn't raise you a mouse.
Okay, I did not. I did not get. That's good. I need a high five. Don't leave it hanging.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were like.
I was like, do I have to dive in there and do a save?
No, I loved it. I did not pick up on that innuendo. That was good.
Oh man.
Right. Also, because we have 3 cameras and they do the thing, we can actually do something amazing, which is everyone hand in. 3, 2, 1, alien.
Wait,
I wanted to do that.
means we're gonna die.
So,
I'm
storytelling
gonna
dad.
try to survive.
Tell us. Give us the shakedown. What's happening?
I
Please
wanna
don't
be
shake me down.
Yeah, I don't want to be
Please.
shaken down.
Shake me.
Right. Who has that lovely
Viciously.
sheet that tells you about the colony?
Yeah, right here.
What?
Would you need that? Yeah.
Wow, what's the colony?
So, just a bit of a setting for everyone. This is set in the Alien universe in 2182, which is 2 to 3 years after the events of the Aliens film, so the second film in the franchise. Remember that this world is, although futuristic, is kind of that retro 80s tech, so all the viewing screens and stuff are like the CRT monitors, lots of blinking lights and so on. Machinery is big and quite clunky. It's not like super advanced nanotech.
You say alien? I thought this was a team building
Oh,
exercise.
don't worry, there are no aliens.
You said that this was mining simulator.
Yeah, that's totally it.
Because that's what we're all training to be.
So, our colony takes
But that's
place.
what I've been training to be.
I've been drilling for a long time,
Have
okay?
you been drilling?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Did you ask if I have been or who I have been?
No, nothing.
Well, Bob.
Well, Vera.
I need to
I'm
get this
feeling some
colony.
tension here.
We haven't even started the game. Where are we?
I do
Please
have some
continue.
condoms in this basket. Just saying.
Oh, can you say that word for me?
Condoms.
Say it.
Condoms.
Condoms.
Condom.
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 It's a
Guess what,
condominium. Bitches, it's a rubber.
Let's put this.
Go condom.
If you can teach me.
Wait, no, I
on
want
the
to hear
schedule.
Bentham say it.
What, condom?
There we go.
Yes, it's a condom.
We're all adults here. Welcome, chat.
Tell me more.
To 80s rated R
Sorry,
movies.
it's okay. Megan's talking about herpes earlier.
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
And then
Well, you did
Wait,
say
did
you
you talk
couldn't get rid of
about
it.
Yeah.
I was yelling something about her.
Yeah, no, all I heard from upstairs, like busy doing work, is I heard Maggie shout, herpes! I was like, I think I missed something. Anyway, so our story takes place on LV-414, otherwise known as New Europa, a moon located around Kalpamos, a gas giant in the Zeta II Reticuli system. The same system that had Acheron, the site of Hadley's Hope, the colony that disappeared a few years ago, with a load of rumors about exactly what happened. All that was known in the end is that one of the atmosphere processes failed, and it exploded, killing everyone there. LV-414 is an ice world, somewhat reminiscent of New Europa, with an ice sheet 14 kilometers thick and 12 kilometers thick in places.
It's like all my
In one of
exes'
these, in one of the thinner places, there is an elevator shaft that goes down to a colony stapled to the bottom of the ice by large metal stanchions drilled into the ice. This colony lives perpetually underwater, as below the ice extends a layer of sub-zero temperature water, kept liquid by the massive salt content of the entire area. These salts are mined and filtered by the colony and then shipped off-world, as they contain things like uranium and tungsten that can be very useful for production and maintenance of things like starships and facilities.
As well as cancer.
Sure, Vera, sure. It's been there for quite some time. It's got an ancient reactor at the heart that keeps it warm and everyone able to live in such an extreme environment. Weyland-Yutani a few years ago bought out the part of the colony that was owned by the Tyrell Corporation, and now it is owned jointly by Weyland-Yutani and the United Americas. Weyland-Yutani own one entire wing, which is where they run their extreme temperature microbiology lab, and the other wings are mostly residential and shipping of stuff off-world, so getting rid of all the useful salts and being able to then split them off-world into the component metals. With that, there have been issues recently. Workers have been complaining about poor conditions, poor safety regulations, and health issues related to their work. And a new administrator has been sent in. Music is loud. Music is loud.
It's been
I'm
tracked.
doing a thing.
It's been tracked a few times.
Yeah.
With that, a new administrator has been sent in to fix the problems. Our new administrator, Jeffrey Rogers, Colonial Administrator for New Europa, arrives today to be able to fix the issues and try and calm everyone down and to have a dispute resolution meeting with the workers and the people who run the colony and the Weyland-Yutani overlords. With that, Jeffrey, your hypersleep casket opens up and you wake up from a very long slumber. You feel your muscles very tense, very, very stiff, like you've woken for a very long, deep sleep in the deepest part of it. Your brain is foggy, you feel like your throat is a bit clogged and dry, and you feel a little bit of dizziness and nausea as you get up.
I imagine it's just kind of like, oh, I hate this. And then eventually getting up.
Okay. Next to you, another casket opens, and your pilot for today, Isaac Peterson, awakes, feeling similarly strained, but more used to it.
Oh, damn. That never gets better. You right, sir?
That sounds about right. Yeah, I'm okay.
Hey, I'll shake it off. Don't you worry.
A third casket, a little bit further along, opens, and you hear, Daddy? Are we there yet?
Close right, I think, Sophie. You sleep all right?
I slept for a long time. I feel tired.
Yeah.
Do I have to get up?
Yeah, you gotta get up.
Yeah, we gotta get up. We gotta eat something.
Yeah, get some food in you. Sort yourselves out. I'll take you down. Surface.
Okay.
How are we looking, Peterson?
Well,
You right there?
I just feel like you just pulled out a pair of suspenders. Well,
Yeah, Peterson, everyone goes into the crow like with just like the underwear, but Peterson goes in with underwear and
and
suspenders.
suspenders. I'm
Yes,
sorry. that
underwear
tickled me.
suspenders.
why is he coming out with like a corn jug of whiskey?
The whiskey's like right next to the hype sleeve, gets up, and whoop.
Rolls up sleeves. Like, what?
Actually, whiskey? No, it's from a chew. You gotta spit.
Ding.
We got this. Don't you worry about yourself. I got you covered.
All right,
We're
I'll
gonna
take your word for it.
orbit, take you down to the surface, and then there's an elevator, a few kilometers. So, you follow me, you'll be safe.
All right, sounds like a plan. Let's check how many blooming complaint emails I've received.
You have 97 new messages
God.
I thought you were gonna say 1,000.
97,000.
and 2,713 unread, unfiltered messages.
Oh no.
Well. It's all from your
All the
ex-wife.
spam, so much spam.
Okay, we're gonna hard cut to about half an hour later. You had like some very like unfulfilling nutrient broth or something to eat, which is probably good for the unsettled stomach of hypersleep and for your journey down. We cut to the inside of your shuttle as it has been flown down by Isaac Peterson. You and Sophie are strapped in the back. The co-pilot is next to you, Peterson. Your co-pilot being, I believe it is Snackman.
Snack win?
Snackman.
Snackman.
Stackman.
Oh, Stackman.
He's a snack.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, I was like, I'm here for a snack.
Sven Stackman. He is 19 years old. Only
might be a
recently
snack.
joined.
It might be. See, around here we call him an appetizer. He's the warm up.
He comes deep fried and on a small plate.
That's right.
Hey, sir, are we ready to go down?
Oh yeah, you prep the Sky Beast for landing. We
Sure
got-
thing, sir. We going down fast or we going down slow?
I just look at the other two. You want to ride or you want to ride?
I want to be alive.
We going in fast.
As Peters and Snack say we're going in hard and fast.
You want to go? You want to ride or you want to ride? Because we're going in fast.
Hold on to your lug nuts. It's time for overhaul.
Okay. Do you want to make this a roll?
Oh, I'm already crying. Me too.
You can tell this is day 2.
Yeah.
Day 3.
What I'm doing is I'm getting Snackman to do the majority of the fancy flying. I'm going to be watching the other two, just like making polite conversation, like, you two doing anything fancy down there?
In which case, I will need the talent sheet if someone can pass me the talent sheet.
Oh, yes, we can do that.
So,
I got a stack of things. Just give me a second.
It's
you mean you've got a snack of things?
no.
No.
It's
Oh,
right,
oh.
Oh,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Is this not it? Is this not the talent?
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry.
you go.
It's right on top. I was missing it.
Yep.
I took a picture of everything, so I don't have to ever use the paper.
Me too. I was like, here you
I'll
go.
just put it in my phone.
Yep, I thought that was his talent. Right, okay, since he's flying, the way this works in Alien RPG, any rolls are based on your 4 attributes: strength, agility, wits, and empathy, and your 12 skills, which are heavy machinery, stamina, close combat, which are all strength linked, mobility, piloting, and range combat, all agility linked, observation, comtech, and survival, which are all wits linked, and manipulation, medical aid, and command, which are all linked to empathy. And I dropped a dice.
You guys could die right here.
That's possible. The way it works is... The way this works is that you roll a number of dice equal to your skill plus the attribute, and 6s, or the one side on the die that actually has a physical shape, if you have the actual aliens die, are successes. You need a success to do something. So in this case, Stackman's agility, which is good, and his piloting, which is also very good, he is very good at this, is a number of dice, and I got a success. So, with that, piloting, he can pick you show off. And with that, it plummets. And he cuts the thrusters. And there's this moment of just weightlessness as it starts falling through the atmosphere.
I only have one good ear, sir. Sorry.
Oh boy!
Hot diggity.
You free
This is your
fall.
chance to utilize darn tootin'.
Darn tootin'. I utilize darn tootin' on a normalized basis.
You do at least twice a VTM session. So with that, he retro burns and you end up in free fall, going into the atmosphere. At the very last moment, after about 3 minutes of free fall, he flips it over, kicks the thrusters, and you are crushed back into your chair as he slows you down.
That was actually kind of cool.
Comes
You
to a
didn't
stop.
see it, but when you did that, you kicked down and it shook that camera.
Nice. Wait, I can do that again.
Yeah. It. I don't know, but it shook the shit out of that camera. Yeah.
There we go. Yes, I can do effects. Wait, can I do this side as well?
Everybody. Oh god, the ship's coming
Find out.
in. About to-
You can.
Yeah. So wait, I can shake the entire colony.
That's some next level shit.
I wish you could see what
Oh,
he was
Star
doing.
Trek style.
They can.
No, but they can't see on like.
Yeah, they
I
can.
have to put one on
He's
That's,
doing
that's the
He's
trick
doing
right
the
there.
splits, yeah.
You know when something's about to happen when he starts running like a dwarf.
Wait, can I do it secretly?
No.
Dancing like
How is that
Russian
secretly?
dancer.
I had no idea.
Okay, but with that,
Do you guys feel that? Do you hear that noise? I don't.
The aliens, the real.
The aliens are real.
We're just trying to land the damn ship.
With that, the shuttle flips over, burns hard, you're crushed into your chair for about 30 seconds before it comes to a stop, and you notice outside there is this large expanse of ice, blinding white as the sun plays off it straight into the viewport, which makes it very difficult to see as it comes in slowly into a large metal hangar built onto the top of the ice. You can see as you go through very close walls made of metal and bits of ice initially until it opens up further and further into a greasy oiled hangar. The entire place is open to the air outside, as the air outside is relatively breathable, if very, very cold. Very cold. In the sun, it's about minus 25, 30 degrees C. When it's nighttime, it's about minus 80. The air is thin, but breathable. And with that, the shuttle spins around at the end very slowly and settles down nicely. Well, sir, you ready to go inside? I'll hang around here and just get us refueled.
Okay. You keep an eye. And I'm just like, I put my arm around Rogers. I'm just like, so you're not a
Right.
risk taker, are you?
No.
Well,
Not a fan of zero G, or speed, or any of that.
I don't get told a lot, but it seems like you're here to lead this little expedition.
Yeah, that's more kind of my thing.
Well, you're gonna have to keep them safe somehow. That ain't gonna be easy.
I've heard there are some issues that need working out, but I'm sure we can handle it.
Well, Mr. Rogers, if you need my help, just ask. I think I'm pretty good with people. You see us? We're best friends now. We've been through something.
Daddy, have you got a new friend?
Forcefully bend through something. This is how you die.
Daddy, can we do that again? That was fun.
Still tucking on
Let's
suspenders.
find your quarters so we can
We've
get
been
you.
through things.
I get my own
settled-
quarters?
settled in.
She knows how to have a good time. Gonna fit in fine.
Is Mummy gonna be joining us?
Let's just sort out your quarters.
I'm your mummy now.
Oh
I don't say
god.
that. I don't say that.
Nope.
According to all of the hate email I've received from your mother, no, I will not be seeing her anytime soon.
As the shuttle door opens and you start disembarking with your bags, what do you look like?
He looks kind of he's all kind of business-like. He's got kind of neat, like just short-cut hair, and he's in a suit, and everything's kind of very neatly done up and like starched and all this rubbish, and very proper and very professional. I'm
picturing, like-
attempt. However, he's currently quite disheveled.
The camera's sort of turning in like a Scorsese film where it like goes gray screen and it's like single parent, mother lost, lonely, afraid, never takes risks. And then it pans down to daughter, and it's like, has no idea what's going to happen, won't survive the next 10 minutes.
Definitely bait.
And then,
Definitely bait.
while we're having this conversation, I do up your tie and I flatten down your hair and it's like,
Thank you.
you want to arrive looking smart.
You seem like you're. You've got the kind of feel of this kind of place out here in the long way from anywhere civil.
This,
He's trying to say it nicely
Well.
and not.
You work with what you've got out here. You seem to have that down.
oh yeah, they're gonna love you down here.
I think it might be good if you stick around for a bit.
Oh yeah?
Just help me get introduced to this kind of lifestyle.
Okay, well, I start playing with a silver coin. I'm like, my ship ain't named because of the dollars for nothing.
Yeah, this.
Just put in a good word with Whalen Utani for me. I'll help you out.
That seems like that could work.
And I'll take you back to your home when this all falls to shit.
He starts nodding. He's like,
I'm joking, don't you worry. Got you.
Don't you worry, your precious little heart, honey. Darling.
I am slightly more hopeful, but
Sir, I'm just gonna unload all the parts we got for the colony. I'll take them down to where they need to go.
Well, their elevator's pretty big. You can plop them on there with me. And I start helping moving things, and I'm like,
Okay.
just give me a minute, sir.
You see Sven, relatively short hair, blonde, young. He's, not even 20 by this stage. But he's relatively athletic, not like super buff or anything, but slim but like toned. Wearing a flight overall, helmet under his arm, which he puts back into the shuttle. He's got flight insignia and so on, which seem to have been homemade. And we also see Sophie Rogers, a small girl, about 10 years old.
She sounds like she's like 6.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was expecting.
Where the Welsh came
She's just a
Slightly
smidge.
more-
I'm gonna let you know.
Yes,
All the little kids in the UK sound fucking
Maggie's obsessed.
adorable.
Maggie's
I
trying
like
to steal kids.
my ovaries are like,
I want a British child.
British child.
cakes and I want them now.
I'm gonna say, this is probably your best chance while you're in England.
It's true. Just swipe in the correct direction, Maggie. It'll be fine.
No.
No.
That's if you see Maggie on her phone, she's just going right. Oh, I've run out. Next app. Right. Like Maggie will have really like overemphasized like pointer finger muscles just for that one move.
Everybody at home, Maggie really doesn't want to steal children. don't call the popo on us.
Okay, she's relatively young, blonde hair, very innocent-looking face with little rosy cheeks. She's still very excited and like nervous about what's going on. The bitterly cold air that's blowing into the hangar, even though you're on the heat lamps in here, still kind of making her begin to like shiver a little bit.
I mentioned that this hangar is set up where it's like, you can survive in here. We'll just have you run to the door to the colony.
Like
you can make it that
the big
far.
like there's like a triple door airlock which is effectively to keep the heat in, and along the row in front of it you can see a row of about 40 like heavy jackets with big thick fake wool like collars and so on. There's like a big hamper just full of like balaclavas and gloves, all very old and dubious quality, but all of them are basically like, if anyone comes outside, grab these first.
I'm like, come on, let's not waste any time or we'll get stuck to the damn floor out here.
Yeah. You move inside. You can actually see as you look around, like some engine oil's been like dripped over one side, and it's just defrosted in the cold. Now it's getting warmer as it's getting to like daytime again. There's like someone's like left a bottle of water which is just solid, and around it moisture's like begun to freeze and
bottle's
attach
cracked
it.
from the
bottle's cracked as expanded. Yeah. Like, you can see around a number of things that people have just left and just gone, it's not worth the effort of moving that. Like, there's a sandwich on one side that is just solid. And it's just iced on. It looks like it probably was been there a while. But it's so solid, you're just like, no one's bothered to move it. You'd have to get a chisel and chip it off. With that, you head inside. Do you want to take the cargo elevator or the light cargo personnel elevator? One can take a lot more cargo, but is slower.
Jeffrey goes straight for the personnel elevator, obviously.
Okay.
I guess I'm coming with you then.
You can just about fit all of you and the reactor components you've got, the aging reactor of the colony, into that little space.
Yeah.
It's not that small, but the reactor components are like big, bulky housing to make sure they're like not damaged in transit. And as you go inside, you notice this big, thick, like beamed area, which is probably about 3 meters by 3 meters, maybe 4 meters by 4, which extends all the way down. As you look over the edge, you can see like a small gap, and you can see going down just the occasional light. Down, 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 until you can't really make out anymore. Each light also seems to have a small heater below it, and as the ice around you is visible, you notice that it's slick. Like, it keeps being reformed with moisture, and then the heat lamps seem to be just keeping it at bay.
And the music's like. Little ice cream.
Sorry, you have to pay extra for elevator music here. The elevator descends, and it starts moving quite rapidly. You feel that lurch in your stomach as it accelerates downwards, and you're kind of momentarily like, whoop.
Oh, not this again.
Yep. And it accelerates up to its top speed. Lights go past you. This is a long ride. It's 12 kilometers to get to New Europa Colony.
It's a long ride.
Take my love.
Wow.
I just sit down and start like reading through a data pad.
Also, look at these notebooks. They're freaking awesome.
You can't take
We have Roll for It Con notebooks, and on the back, it has the Stargames characters. I don't know if I'm getting it right.
My notes from yesterday are just doodles that say pizza. And Bernard, I drew you as a pizza slice.
Bernard.
I'm not gonna lie, we didn't get them quickly enough, so my old notes are still in my old notebook, so I'm using my YouTube one. I wish I was using the new one.
I just wrote a thing that says Cryola and a crayon falling on Ollie's head.
I'm sorry,
hated it.
Crayola?
Cryola.
Cryola.
Crayola!
Cryola.
I want an emote of a crayon that's like,
Thank you, Bo. Thank you.
yeah, chat's with us.
I got this feel like when you were describing the descent of the shuttle and then the descent of this. It was,
Yeah.
it was like
Firefly.
Firefly all over again.
Firefly is the most modern thing that has that kind of retro tech feel sometimes, yeah.
I love Firefly.
Take me out
so
to the
sad,
black,
so
tell them I ain't coming back.
Yep.
Burn the land and boil the sea, you can take the sky from me.
I want to get muted.
Me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 30 seconds. We only get 30 seconds.
I'm lucky to get 20 sometimes. Anyway,
What?
That sounds like a
Personal problem.
Right? You need to work on that.
Did you say that the last?
That's a lot.
Oh, that's.
Oh man, that explains everything.
Oh, this is why we're
right, so this journey will take you 30 minutes at top speed.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Trewella just kind of.
We're like, okay, that's more like it.
You can get an English baby in that time, don't worry.
We are
He's dead. I'm fucking dead. Oh man.
We're on a wavelength, I swear to God.
This is definitely day 2 of shows.
This is what happens when you cram this many creators in a small space.
Dad and
okay?
I talked for 3.5 hours last night about ATM.
We didn't go to bed till like 6 a.m.
Oh god.
We laid it. Yeah.
We
anyway.
watched terrible movies and talked about ghosts. It was kind of nice. I just wish it was longer.
Go, she's the good.
Me too.
It's okay.
Me too.
Okay.
You're the fisherman. Wrangle us in.
Okay, come on. Back on topic. In this 30-minute like journey down, Sophie's sitting there, just kind of like peering through the crack, definitely getting way too close to a slightly dangerous edge of ice.
Every now and then I'm like,
past.
I'm back from the walls. It's dangerous, fast-moving ice.
It's more interesting than Luna. It's more interesting than Luna.
Then, oh, is that where we're from?
Luna, the moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were a deputy there.
I'm like, yes, but the look, don't touch.
That's no fun.
What are these? Just jumps up and down the crate a little bit.
Please don't jump in here.
She's alright, that's fairly well insulated.
Yeah, this colony's been around a little while now, right? Yeah.
What are you two looking forward to at this here colony?
Space monsters.
Space monsters. Well, never heard of no space monsters, but I'm sure we can rustle up a costume or two.
You never know, maybe they'll discover some bacteria or something on here.
Do you have spurs and a cowboy hat?
Yes, sirree.
And a jug with 3 X's on it.
That's his other costume.
Okay, reeling back in.
Like, you never know, they might discover some bacteria here. We're always looking for life on other planets.
Yeah, they got that lab.
The bacteria
Yeah,
aren't fun.
they're always keeping an eye out.
Bacteria aren't fun. I can't see bacteria.
Well, bacteria is all you're gonna get at this kind of stage. But
Well-
if we get it, that will be famous.
How long do
if
we
we're
have to
around when
stay
it happens.
here?
Until the disputes are resolved, and I'm gonna get straight to it. We've got a meeting already planned, so it's gonna go well.
I miss Mummy.
Well, soon we can get back home or somewhere else new. I don't know.
This isn't home.
Potential
But this
for
is
death.
gonna be our home for a while.
Likely soon.
Well, your daddy don't sound no fun, but you want to see aliens? If they got microscopes, you can see them wriggling about and doing their weird thing. Now that's interesting.
Okay.
It'll be like it'll be like the home in no time. You'll settle right in. I'm sure it'll be great. There'll be plenty to do.
Reel it in.
Less crossed off.
There'll be plenty to do. I think they've got a school, and so there's probably some other kids there. You'll have a lovely time.
Okay. With that, the rest of the journey goes relatively uneventfully.
Lots of them kind of standing there going,
Yep. Just read everything here, which is mostly warning sign, don't touch the ice, high voltage cable,
keep hands inside
boxes
the,
like
the elevator.
reactor coupling, do not access except in a controlled environment, a few other things like that. One was like tritium isotope. Go down.
Where's the emergency brake?
There's a couple of levers like in each corner for the emergency brake.
He's like, it looks at the emergency brake and he's like, then I would be trapped with 6 kilometers of ice above and below me.
You do see occasionally as you go past, there are like little handholds built into the ice. And there is a ladder, but there's also every like 2 meters along the ladder there's an extra hook hold so that you can use it like a carabiner and just like go up like with a rope.
Oh, you could like bailey up and down it. Okay.
It is a 12-kilometer up though. It would take a while. And then every now and again there's this little alcove built in so that if someone did need to come up and do maintenance, they can like move into the alcove. They can stop there. There's like some places with like basic rations and so on as you go past very fast. It's like some of them insulated as well. And there's the occasional computer terminal built in as well for accessing maintenance relays. But you get to the bottom. It takes a while, but you do get there. And there's now sounds of people actually moving around and doing stuff. It's not particularly busy, but you do hear the sound of machinery, the sound of steam, definitely warmth here. And you notice the definite pungent smell of metals, all different kinds, this like irony tang, along with engine oil. And down the bottom, waiting, very prim and proper, very much like almost on her tiptoes, like chest out, like arms behind her back, smiling as you come down, is Ava, the colony assistant synthetic, who you've talked to a few times over comms before you got here. Looks like she's maybe like 30, 35 of human age, curly blonde brown hair that goes down just below her ears, and a little like mop bob. Very angular features, bright blue eyes. Hello, sir. How can I help you today? Welcome to New Europa.
You must be Ava. Well, I believe I have a meeting scheduled. I'm going to meet the rest of the team, right?
Yes, sir. I've arranged it for your briefing room. Would you like me to take you there?
Yes, perhaps you might want to take Sophie to our quarters so she can get settled in.
Hi, Sophie. Hi.
Please do make sure to keep an eye on her. She does like to wander. You might struggle to keep her occupied. Maybe introduce her to the other kids on the station, right?
There is one other child on the station.
How old are they?
11.
Oh, that sounds excellent. Maybe you can introduce and make she might feel a little bit better about being so far away from everywhere.
Very well, sir. I will take you to your briefing and then take Sophie along and come back presently.
Right, excellent.
You probably hear a voice at this point with some louder stompings from down the hallway. Damn it, Vera! Come on, come back. We can talk about this.
Fuck off.
It doesn't have to be that way. Who the hell are you?
Oh, hello.
This is Clone Administrator Jeffrey Rogers.
You look like a kid.
Well, I am relatively young, I guess.
You gonna make everything better, Greenhorn?
That's the idea.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. Hold on. Vera, come back! And he just kind of walks on.
Who is that?
That is Marshal Kowalski. He's meant to be at the dispute resolution meeting starting in 8 minutes.
Ah. Right. Well, we should get on then. Yes.
I believe he's looking for Vera Santos, reactor supervisor. She's also meant to be at the dispute resolution meeting.
Well, hopefully they're on their way to it then. Yes.
They're going in the wrong direction.
Are we always?
Perhaps you might need to remind them. I'm sure they've got very busy schedules to keep, and things get hectic around here. Sure.
It didn't look like nothing scheduled.
I'm sure around here there's lots of work to be done all the time. You just kind of.
Or Tuesday.
Let's just get to the meeting. Come on.
It's Tuesday, right?
Sure.
Yeah, every Tuesday.
Okay, very well. Follow me. Your offices are near the hub.
Right. Excellent.
Ava leads you through hallways which are very cramped, big cylindrical tubes which occasionally have these little plexiglass screens in which you can see out into relatively dark water. It's only lit by the occasional light on the outside of the hub, which is very limited, and the water just goes on, and you can see the ice sheet overhead as this is bolted to the bottom of the ice sheet in the thick, dark water. You go through the corridors and you occasionally see people walking back and forth, but it's relatively quiet at the moment. It seems to be in the middle of the night cycle. It takes about 15-20 minutes of walking through to get to the dispute resolution meeting, which is in a room not too dissimilar from this one, with a small table which seems like it's been borrowed from like a canteen or something. It's relatively cheap with these like fold-out legs, and then little chairs put around it. Some of them mismatched and different. A few of them look like they've been repaired and like the metal's been welded back together. It all looks relatively old and makeshift. One of the lights in the corner is like. Ava looks at it. Would you like me to add that to the maintenance log?
Yes. When he walks into the room, he's just like, oh. He was expecting like a boardroom kind of thing, like big long table, loads of seats, and projectors, and.
Erica Mariner, you're already there.
Oh, yeah.
Erica's on time. What does Erica look like?
Erica is sitting very promptly at, like, probably closest to where she thinks that the front is going to be, because there's probably, like, a projector or something like that. She's sitting very close. She has, like, a notepad and her coffee and her phone or whatever, like, or her data pad and her phone and her coffee sitting there. And she looks really well kept. She has, like, her hair just looks perfect. She has, like, long black hair with bangs, and she has, like, a little headband on. And she's very 90s style. She has, like, a turtleneck that's, like, this orange, yellow color, mustardy color, and a nice blazer that's on with like a big, huge belt and some really thin slacks.
This is Dr.
Heels.
Erica Morin. She's here to assess the health of the colony.
Yes, of course. Yes, Doctor. We've spoken by email. Yes, excellent.
I will leave you and take your daughter to your room.
All right. Yes, thank you very much, Ava.
Okay, bye, Daddy.
And you make sure to behave, Sophie.
Hi,
Hi,
Doctor.
what's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie. It's so lovely to meet you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Dr. Moran.
Shakes your hand.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you around.
You look pretty.
Oh, thank you. I'm polite.
Run along now, Sophie. Let's.
Do I need to go?
We're going to be.
Mum left us and I don't want to leave you two.
I think that if you behave, Ava here might be able to get you something, maybe a sweet. Isn't that right, Ava?
I can procure sugar-based foodstuffs.
She nods at
All tastes
Ava.
like dog shit anyway.
Profanity. Please do not profane around children.
Do you pay my bills?
Your bills are played by the United Americas.
That's right. You just keep going. Let's round up with this. Greenhorn, can you kick this thing off, please?
All right. You're Kowalski, yes.
Yes. Just
Ava
Kowalski.
walks away during this conversation with Sophie.
Thank you, Ava. Make sure to behave, Sophie.
Maybe.
Oh dear.
Mr. Rogers, this is Marshal Kowalski.
Yes. We
Just
met
call me
briefly.
Joe.
Joe, right? Yes, Joe. I believe we're expecting one more, Vera Santos. Yes.
Yeah, she's on her way.
All right. Good. And
She wouldn't
we'll
miss
be able
this for the world.
to get on. Oh, by the way, this is Isaac Peterson. He's my pilot. Even thought I'd bring him along.
Nice to see you again, Isaac.
Nice to meet you, Doctor. And
You're meeting me. You probably already know me.
I've-
If you're on this, are you on?
no, he's from
okay.
he's a spacer. He
okay.
works on a spaceship, so he wouldn't.
Nice to meet you.
You would know that
Nice
he's
to
on
meet
the USCSS because of the dollars, which just came into orbit, which is delivering reactor parts and the new administrator.
So he's going to be spending some time in the colony. They're delivering parts and things. I understand you've been waiting for.
I hope you enjoy your stay.
Well, I hope I got what you need.
How was your travels?
Fairly smooth, I think.
Yeah. Space travel is not something I do so often, so
I see.
we got here.
Oh,
on
that's
time,
good
I
to
think.
hear.
I believe I'm here as an what you call independent observer. So I'm just going to observe you and see if I can help anyone.
Can we cut with the trivialities?
You want to get this done?
Yeah, I'd really like to. I'm turning tail on 50, and this is boring as fuck.
I believe
Well,
you're waiting on Mrs. Santos.
Vera!
About this time, she rounds the corner. She's like wiping her hands in a rag from like oil, where she's clearly been like working and doing things. And she
You've probably just been overseeing the reactor crew as they're about to install the new components.
cone
to
it
this
and
car.
stuff.
Yeah.
So she's like messy, and she like wipes her hands and she tucks the rag and
You've
she
been
realizes she's
asking
not
for the new
buttoned
power,
up, you know.
the new power coupling. You've been asking for like 4 years or something. They just got to you.
Or is it Ms. Santos?
You can call her that. She prefers Santos, just Santos. Yeah, she kind of rounds the corner and wipes her hands and puts out a still very oily hand directly at you.
It's part of a charm, Greenhorn.
Yeah, Santos.
What does Korski look like?
I
by the
offer
way?
you like a tissue.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Joseph Kowalski is 49 years old. He's a bit more grizzled, very tight-lipped about everything. Brow is almost consistently furrowed. He has seen some shit. He's a bit of a veteran, and he's tired. He's tired of everything because everything is way too fucking hard.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
it is.
Santos?
No, I'm just kidding.
Vera Santos is a roughly the same age. She's about 42. She's very worn, but an extremely muscular and fit lady for her age.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, she is. She wears I'm sure, like some kind of jumpsuit, like a jumpsuit covered in years worth of like dirt and grime, no matter how many times she washes it. And her hair, which you can barely see, is pulled tightly back and wound as tight as she is in a kind of Rosie the Riveter style hair piece that keeps it out of her face. Yeah, and she says, "All right, let's do it."
All right, I believe that's everyone here. Everyone take a seat, and we'll see what we can do.
I take a seat immediately.
And we're supposed to be meeting with them workers.
Well, that's the next step of the process. You know, leadership first.
Trust
and then once
me,
we get
he's
a
not
feel
ready for the workers.
The
No, he's not.
situation. We'll move on to that.
Santos speaks for a lot of the people.
Yes, as I understand, you spend most. You're the reactor head reactor
Supervisor.
Yes, right. So you spend most time with the workers. Yeah, so I've had some contact from people on the colony. My understanding is we've got a little bit of a problem with the workers right now. That they're they formed a union and they're starting to.
Unions are illegal, by the way, just for your reference.
Yeah, the word is that they formed something akin to a union, and they're not working and striking and that sort of thing, and we're not meeting our quotas.
We're not meeting our quotas because my people are sick,
Yes, so
and their working conditions are unacceptable.
I can attest to that. It's pretty garbage down here.
We are working on the process. I've only been here for about 2 months, and the conditions, well,
Squalid.
They're lackluster.
Let's be honest.
if everyone followed regulations,
Regulation.
there wouldn't be any problem, sir.
Yeah, so my understanding is you're mining something called the uranyl nitrate.
Correct.
Which contains uranium, but I was told
Which we
that,
know is proven to be very, Very bad.
Yes, uranium is radioactive, but I've been assured that it is, even in its concentrated form, it's still not at all at a level that's dangerous to anyone. I mean,
Yeah, when you have it in small amounts, we're mining it from a planet in mass quantity.
Yes, but I was told that even in that case, I mean, it's not being
Told by
nothing
who?
refined here.
Told by who?
As long as it's not being consumed, sir.
Well, yes, exactly. I don't think people are eating the stuff.
Let's just you just got off a flight, right?
Yes.
Unless you're on the ground floor, let's just not assume anything. As much as she can be a pain in the ass, she knows what she's talking about.
Well, hold on now. People actually eating this stuff? Is that
It's
what
not-
you're trying to say to us?
There's not exactly enough of anything going on around down here. The happiness is down, morale is absolute shit. There's not enough food, at least of any good kind. Last time I saw a steak was off this fucking planet.
He's not wrong about that part.
Look, I have been here 20 years. This is my home. And the people that work on this station, this is their home. And their home is unlivable. Where do you come from?
Luna,
And your home is...
it's
Tell us about it.
well, it's much closer to Earth, so it's I will admit it's definitely better supplied and provisioned than an outpost this far out. So I realize
Right.
it's a different environment.
You get to shower every day?
Yes.
You have a hot meal daily?
Yes.
You and your daughter, right? Yeah. My son, my boy, you don't get a hot meal every day. And radiation poisoning, it is a slow death. No, they ain't consuming
can
it,
assure
but
you,
they're
sir.
breathing it.
They are not getting radiation poisoning.
They shouldn't be breathing it. The containment methods that are being employed are meant to prevent any exposure to the actual.
Meant to. Keyword meant to.
We're still doing testing, but so far none of our testing has proved that any of that is.
Yeah, that was what I heard. Yes, the medical analyses had demonstrated that there was no risk.
I will tell you though, if someone were to be in contact with it for long periods of time in mass consumption or such, it does have repercussions on your urinal tract and so on and so forth, and your organs. But we have a great filtration system, and none of our water is taking that.
Not that you'd find any of that anyway. As much as I am a fan of Weyland-Yutani, they make sure none of that surfaces.
That's right. I agree entirely. This research, I haven't seen it. All these things, these things you prove, my people are sick.
It isn't
and regardless of whether
no offense. Let's be civil, at least to a degree. You can express your discontempt, but let's be real here. Walk around.
you know what?
After this, you should walk around.
I can send you some of our documentation and analysis, sir.
Better yet,
That would be excellent.
why don't I give you a
I'll send it
tour?
over to you.
Yeah, but I could perhaps take a tour of the facilities. Yes.
I'll send him over some of the documents that I have, if that I'm allowed to share. Yeah.
So my question is, out of character, there have been these rumors that people are getting sick and that there is something wrong, and we've not been able to prove what it is.
Correct.
Is it related to radiation poisoning?
You know,
In terms of
not
the
been proven.
symptoms?
You wouldn't be able to know or prove.
You definitely wouldn't know.
People getting generally ill, like the one thing with radiation poisoning is very mild doses of radiation poisoning basically increase your chance of suffering from diseases and so on.
Right.
And being
Immune
ill
systems,
and
yeah.
malnutrition and so on. And it could just be, you're working too hard, you're stressed, etc. So you can't prove anything.
Mm-hmm.
And none of you or your people are medical specialists. And so
Right.
haven't been able to prove anything. And you definitely feel, for you, that Wayne and Yutani have stopped you getting any particular outside help. The only person you know who's been looking into it is the medical assessor.
Right.
You could still be dubious about her allegiances or something. She seems to be independent.
She seems to be independent.
That's
okay.
that's the byline.
But she was hired by them.
She was
And
hired
she's
by a
paid by
company. A company hired by United Americas, not by Wayne and Yutani.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. As soon as Santos is like, let's take a tour, she stands. Come on.
All right.
I'd love to come with you.
Oh, by all means.
Yeah, you can see.
Rogers, do yourself a favor and don't talk to the people yet. You're gonna get an earful regardless. And
Right.
there's a lot of bias because people are unhappy. Just see it for yourself.
All right.
I do think talking to people sometimes can help.
Can, but you should really get a full tour of the facility before you do. Because everyone's got a different complaint. Just know, that nobody's happy.
I think I get you thinking. We'll get a full picture. Yes.
Yeah, Doc. They like you. They think you're here to help.
And you are.
They don't necessarily feel the same about you.
Oh, Santos.
It's an understandable perspective.
You know better. They're gonna eat him alive.
Kowalski, if you keep your mouth shut, I'll prove my point.
It takes some time getting used to, Mr. Rogers, but I assure you, everyone here is quite lovely.
Can I call you
Past.
Jeffrey?
If you'd like to.
I do,
usually-
and I scoop his arm. I'm like, come on. And I start dragging him out the room.
Okay, as the door goes,
I
opens.
grab any of extra stuff that like got left
Sure.
behind because she grabbed him. Carry
Ava's
it.
just standing there at the door going, "Oh, hi. Welcome back. I was just coming to join you. Your daughter is settled.
Excellent.
I got her a sugary-based foodstuff."
Good. That'll keep her occupied.
I'll trail far
I
enough
smile
behind.
and give a wink to Ava.
Hi, Dr. Marin.
Nice to see you, Father. Thank you for doing that
We
for
ought
me.
to see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ava is not particularly designed for combat or anything. Her physical motivations
bot.
are not exactly excessively designed. So when she winks, it's not meant to be particularly subtle. So her entire side of her face goes scrunch.
Oh God.
As we start to walk down the corridor, I'm like, so the issue from our end, the company perspective is that right now the facility is barely profitable whatsoever, and that's why we are struggling to be able to provide any additional supplies and things. The problem, like that's why the buyout happened and things, because the profitability turned out to be more limited. The original plan was that we would add refinement facilities to this, and unfortunately, because we haven't been able to kind of get up to speed with the mining operations, now we can't do it all in one place, and so we're spending an awful lot on just transport of the actual product. So
I have been looking at the budget and trying to figure out where we can make the process a little bit better.
yes, I mean,
Without
perhaps,
increasing the budget, so.
yes, rearrange a couple things, and perhaps we can,
But I will say
squeeze a
that-
little bit more out of the place, and maybe actually get it to.
My people can't be squeezed anymore.
They are cutting costs by, well,
Working
not following
long hours,
the process quite right.
unacceptable equipment, working environments, not getting to feed themselves, having to.
Well, the issue is that as far as the company is concerned, if this stops being profitable entirely, well, then of course the whole thing will be shut down, and then no one has any work.
And of course, the opposite must be true as well. Hard work gets you paid, as we say.
Well, yes, because if they can get things moving a bit more smoothly and get the money flowing in, then
So-
they can benefit from that.
But have you thought that maybe what they need is, as Kowalski so pointed out, a morale boost? That these people need more than just being asked to work harder for more pay. They're people, not machines. No offense, Ava.
Perhaps that's
okay.
something. Perhaps that's something
Why
we
would I
can
find
work
that
out.
offensive?
I just shake my head at her. I'll tell you later.
How much? So she's a doctor. I'm very interested as to why she knows finance on the business.
For the processes of basically administrative, like
You're more an administrative
healthcare
assistant.
administration.
Oh, I see. Okay. So then my next question is, how much of that is in Santos' purview in terms of the financial side of things? Because she's
Not
just
much.
not much.
Yeah, you've come up from being a grunt up to like the max you can really go without actually getting into company business.
Got it. Okay.
My job is I've come here to fix the.
Yeah, as a doctor,
try to fix
she's
it,
not like a surgical doctor or anything like that. Her focus is much more pathology and
interesting.
like
Okay.
population.
Got it.
So she's looking at the population and seeing are there health issues in the population.
Got it. Okay,
Like,
she's
she
doing
is
research,
a doctor,
proper
but
research.
yeah, she's a doctor, but she's also trained in the little things that affect that. Like for instance,
And what
finance is
you've
very.
probably noticed is I have sat with different families and.
Oh yeah, for sure.
and-
Yeah, and I think that's why Santos knows that people like you because you do that. You sit down with them. Yeah, she would be aware of that. Okay. All right. I think we would start in the reactor. Like I want to take him down to the reactor first and work our way up.
Okay. So as you get over to the proper into the center of the main hub. This is where filtration systems for the mining are housed, right next to the reactor. The filtration systems are basically these giant turbines that force water through, and as it comes through, they force it into chambers where they evaporate the water, take off the salt, and then recool the water, and then pump it back out into the sea. If there is a local ecosystem, it's incredibly damaging for it because the water is going from minus 20 degrees to a little over 0 when it's being pumped back in. So it's a bit of a mess, but ultimately it generates a lot of salts, and these salts can then be shipped off-world. Part of the problem that you have is that the facility was originally designed to expand to a point where they could do the actual cracking of the salt in the facility and ship just metal off-world.
Oh.
It never expanded to the point where that would be particularly worth investing in, so they have to ship the salt off-world, which contains a lot of random stuff like nitrogen and oxygen bound to it instead of shipping it off as a metal, which means that it's less profitable, which means it's less worth investing in, which means that it's never really hit that break-even point where they can really afford it. Which is one of the reasons that Weyland-Yutani are like, okay, let's invest in this place as a microbiology lab to try and get it to the stage that we can invest in it as a actual mineral production facility.
Okay.
So there are these 4 giant turbines equidistant around the central reactor. Each one is probably about 30 to 50 meters tall, goes through several floors of the facility, and this is where the facility is at its thickest. There is probably 5 floors and then some miscellaneous scaffolding and tubes outside around the turbines. Each of these has like big boiler rooms attached to it that all feed into a process conveyor belt that then pump the salts out in big heavy plastic packages. The actual central reactor itself is a very large ancient fusion reactor that's recently, just because of the stuff being brought from because of the dollars, got some of the new parts it needed, like the power coupling and so on, so it can actually interface with the main power grid. You can see as you get there, people are busy moving around. Most of them don't give you a second thought. Like, they glance at you, seem a bit like, okay, a guy in a tie's here. He's probably a company man, and they grumble, and they move on.
They look at how clean the shirt is, and like, he must have just arrived.
Yeah. They seem like they're actually working right now, and part of that seems to be because they actually got some recent stuff, and there's stuff to do. There's small cranes moving around, moving parts in. You can see people like wiping like oil along their hands and on their faces. This place is warm. Most of the rest of the entire facility is pretty cold. And saving money, just cut the heating a bit. The water outside is minus 20, the heating's very important here. But in here, the excess heat from the reactor is quite warm. And this is where they pump the heat from elsewhere. So the actual filtration system, where they have to boil the water and so on to actually then get it to drop, that heat is then recycled and pumped through the facility. So the entire thing is
efficient.
Yeah.
Rogers likes it.
The problem is it doesn't have many fail-safes. If one thing goes and you're like, oh, we're not filtering water anymore, guess we don't have any heat.
Yeah.
So the big reactor's old but sturdy, and it needed that part for a while, but it's managed to get it. You've been looking over like the first bit of like, let's get the part installed. Part is fine, goes in. You left it to your work crew, and they've got it. As you come in, a boy, probably only a little bit older than your daughter, skedaddles past pretty quick, like going in between carts, quickly ducking through like some chains hanging from the ceiling. You barely notice him, covered in oil, engine grease, like straight down his arm, like a little bit of blood and like a scab there. Face is like, looks up at you, quick inquisitive eyes, just like clocks you, clocks everyone. Not does it, Santos.
Hey. I grab him by the cuff and pull him back.
What now?
Manners.
Hello. How can I help?
No. What is your name? Introduce yourself.
Name's Jakey.
Hello, Jakey. I'm Jeffrey.
And?
Jeffrey is here to help us make this place better.
You see, like,
Jakey.
Jeffrey's hand kind of twitches as if he begins to go for a handshake, and he's like, no. Because look at the oil and everything. He's like,
No. Nice to meet you, Jeffrey.
Santos smiles real big.
I offer you another handkerchief or another towel.
He says, Jeffrey, Jakey, tell Jeffrey what you do on a daily basis.
I go into the reactor and I fix the bits. Someone has to. I can get in all those little tight spaces, you know, indispensable me. Puffs his little chest up.
Man, Santos is proud.
Making good use of...
Miranda's kind of judging.
You probably have heard the story since you've been here a little while. His parents left when he was 6, left him on the colony. Whether intentional or unintentional, don't know. No one's been able to contact them. So he's been here for 5 years.
Yeah, and I probably have talked with him.
You probably talked with him. Yeah. He's been pretty dismissive unless Santos has told him to be helpful.
This is my boy.
Ah, right. Okay.
The youngest worker here for the reactor.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that can fit into the small spaces.
I see.
Well, now that don't sound fair.
Everyone's got to do something.
You get paid for that?
Yeah. Not much of a share. I'll get paid.
Quarter, what the adults do.
Well,
Got myself an apprenticeship.
That's right. Teaching him
job.
everything I know, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't necessarily
He's gonna be
approve
learning
of
a
it,
lot.
Mr. Rogers, but that is what they've been doing, and I've been monitoring South.
It wouldn't be so
Yes, I
bad if the
wasn't
conditions were
aware.
just a little bit better. He's right. Jakey is sizable. He fits the right type of person for the job, and he's smart as shit. But the conditions are rough.
We go now? Got stuff to do?
Yeah, get on.
Well, hold on now. Sounds like there's a lot of animosity going on here. Why don't you gather everyone up and we can spread our...
That's probably... what's your name again there?
Isaac.
Isaac. That's cute. No. Isaac.
I got shit to do.
Peterson,
I'm
what I
gone.
think he means is that maybe this isn't the right time.
Yeah, they're busy right now.
Hell, not the right place either.
Yeah.
Well, not here, but
Jakey's already gone.
maybe later.
Besides, how's this place gonna heat itself if everyone just decides to stop working?
Yeah, and that's about the time that Santos kind of starts filling you in and like, this is how it works. She goes, this is Bertha.
Yeah,
my
so you get
baby.
close.
You know, it's what she's like naming it. She's like, I have worked on this reactor for 20 years since I've been here. Since I was his age. Well, a little older. And I kind of point as he scutters off. And she says, this is my life. This is their lives. And I point to all the many people that might be working or walking.
Yeah, there's probably like 5 or 6 people you can see
Yeah,
from here.
Many of them have been here for many years.
Yes.
You can feel like the pen in your pocket, by the way, going shaking every time it goes. Vroom, it begins to like tilt forwards out of your pocket.
You
a
don't have
little
any metal plates in your body, do you?
No.
Good.
No.
bit. Yeah, your data pad every time it goes, vroom, it flickers. The screen goes,
She's like holding it closely.
If it breaks down or has a problem because the parts, that kind of point, are old, this place overheats and it'll explode.
By the way, I got what you need.
Oh,
I brought it down. I can... steps back. Whew. Couple of metal plates. We,
his head magnetizes to it.
Yeah. Whenever you need it, just let me know. I'll help move it.
Are they moving it down?
Yeah, well, it's down here.
it's already been moved down. You've just left the crew to actually fix it. They're
Finish
installing
it.
it
Oh,
right
she's
now.
like, I appreciate you bringing it. They're already installing.
Ah, well, seems like a really tight
And-
operation here.
Well, it's a piece that they've been needing for a while.
The sooner the better, right?
Took you
Yeah.
For a long while.
6 months.
Well, I'm on
But we are appreciative of these parts and the need for them, the investment for them.
Yes, and hopefully that will help ease some of the issues right away.
You can't feed people with a reactor.
Well, yes, but it'll help the work go smoother and that kind of thing.
And that's your main concern. I get that.
And you know, I understand the expense, kind of, is high, I guess, and there is question about investing more.
Oh shit, Wayland Yutani's got plenty of money.
Kowalski,
They do their fair share here. You know more than anyone that they do enough work. We can justify just upping a little bit of anything is going to do good for just about everyone.
I think what he's saying is the issue, of course, is that we have to ship the rock off planet, which is expensive. If you made an upfront investment in this place and allowed us to do it on site, over time we would be able to turn a profit. Right now we have been at a long-term disadvantage.
Yes, but you also have to demonstrate the long-term viability of the mining operation, which is...
Long term, you've been here 20 years she's been here. That's pretty damn long term. That's older than you are, right?
I think what he means,
Let him say his
Kowalski,
piece.
is that it's been 20 years and we haven't been profitable.
And to be fair, the company's only started investing recently in the project, so past failings, that's not necessarily our fault. We're just picking up the torch and trying to do our best with it.
Right, and you know what?
We have cat distractions.
We too are trying. This is the ship feline, also named Bertha.
No.
Oh, that's right. Sure.
There's
yeah,
one
that's
cat,
right,
and
that's
it
right.
belongs to Erica Morin.
I forgot about that.
Periwinkle.
She must have gotten out.
I I pick her up.
I imagine for some reason her hair is kind of on end, like a little like static electricity in space.
She's a little black cat.
Yeah, cute. Feline distraction. I think we are all appreciative of it, but if you shut this place down, what are these people gonna do?
Freeze their asses off.
I didn't ask you, Kowalski.
Well, in that case, I guess we mothball the place, get everyone out. Something to that effect.
And you put them where?
They normally find them other places to work.
There's plenty of other colonies around. Of course, it depends on who exactly is responsible for their pay. I believe a lot of you.
A metal girder just falls nearby. Bang, 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 bang. Sorry down there.
Maybe a heads up next time?
This is James Schaefer. He is bucked under your crown a fair bit and does not like authority. Sorry.
Little to the left.
Now that is a problem. Like, who's that guy? Can
James.
you make a note of that?
Not on.
Let's have a talk a little later. That was very dangerous.
I'm
Very
sure
funny.
it will.
James, right? Makes a note. It's like that. Then there might be, perhaps some of the issues are just because of certain key figures causing trouble for everyone else.
James is definitely a troublesome.
He's had his fair share of cell time.
I think
I can
James
send you
is
over his report
passionate.
if you'd like.
That's a cute way of saying it.
Report.
I send him over the report that I have.
Look, it's not just my job to take care of this. It's my job to take care of them. Because nobody else speaks for them. You are here helping
trying.
them, and I appreciate that. But when you start telling these people that they're going to have to pack their lives,
No one's saying that has to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, so our hope is that doesn't have to happen. That we can.
so then tell me, I am all ears. What can we do to assure that this doesn't get shut down? What do I have to do to help make that a reality?
Well, if there's a couple of bad actors in the place that are causing trouble, then perhaps if you were to get rid of those, you might have an overall more productive
You
force.
need them. These are the most skilled men and women that have been sent here and glued to this
One of them
place.
nearly
This
drops a girder on
I
me.
think the worry, Kowalski, is that if the rumors are true that they're causing a union,
I ain't no union as far as I can tell. People are just trying to have some
Lots of background noise.
private talks, and
when folks get upset and they rally together, well, it doesn't always end very well.
You're right. You know more than anyone that I tried to weed out the bad seeds and give them some time to think alone. Sometimes you just need to blow off some steam. But that's part of the problem is there's not enough steam to blow up here.
And I will say, as a
Tight quarters.
space dweller, we have to live with our crew, and that becomes our community. And I don't know what the parallels are between a space
It's
crew
fucking
and-
hazardous.
But you lot have to bust together as a community to get stuff done, and you can't just be picking on one person.
James got balls of steel. That man will do anything I ask him. The most dangerous thing on this station, he'll do it. Is he a good man? No. But is he hardworking and earns every small piece of coin you give him? Yeah. So
Everyone is part of the community. Everyone gets a share from the Wailing Yutani United America's budget.
Yes, thank you,
share.
Ava.
The truth is, Rogers, we're all trying to work and do the best we can down here, but it's like it's its own prison. And we're all kind of treated like prisoners. Even Miss Moran, she's been here 2 months. She don't like it.
I never said that.
She did not say it, though. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words.
Speaking of silence, let's go down to the residential district, or up to the residential district, shall we?
All right, yes. Let's see what the court says.
Working conditions, living conditions.
Yeah, the complete picture.
Marshal Kowalski,
Ava?
how can silence speak?
Yep.
I'll explain it to you later, Ava.
It's
Thank you.
subtext.
Don't think too hard about it, Ava. It'll blow your circuits. Come on.
I think I noticed the doctor. I'm like, how old is that model?
Very old.
Yeah, not the kind I'm used to.
We haven't, well, they haven't gotten an upgrade in, well, probably 15 years.
I think she's something like third hand. She was got by the colony about 3 years ago, and she's been whacked a few times.
It's like, yeah, not the most subtle
We've been updating her programs, but
We're
gonna take him by the ladder to show him
she's...
any of the
Yeah, I was gonna do that last.
injuries that have occurred. You want to stop a union from happening? You should actually see the people who've been hurt.
I'm gonna just make it clear there is no union aboard or anywhere on this place. The people are gathering because they have a shared interest. They want the same things. That is not a union. There's never been any violence other than the occasional, ramble over a few drinks, but...
Fine, it's a fellowship. However you want to paint it in broad strokes.
I have had to clean up a few punches.
Fellowships are not illegal under Yutani regulations.
Thank you, Ava.
What do you do to unions, by the way?
They're legal.
Loss of shares.
Loss of shares.
Prison time.
Prison time.
Yes.
Or unlimited fine.
So, instead of that, as I pointed out, something the people here are not interested in, but they are interested in a better life. And I think that is something, regardless of where you come from, that we can all understand.
And I think that's why Mr. Rogers is here.
I understand that, and I agree. So why don't we go take a look at their lives?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Wipes oil off his hands again. So maybe it'll be cleaner up there.
I offer you another.
I was gonna say I clap you on the back as we move forward and put a big old handprint on your white shirt.
I try to clean up your shirt.
You're so sweet.
It's all right, Doctor. It's fine.
As you make your way through into the
I
residential
kind of
district.
lean in and I'm just like, you'll get used to them. You come around. They'll come around.
And I lean into you like, you're not gonna get anything from him if you keep, you don't push.
I whisper, I was like, if I push too damn hard, the man will fall over.
A strong breeze, then.
Okay. You make your way through into the residential district. Now, the layout is there are 3 wings attached to the central hub, one of them being the cargo handling, one of them being the residential, one of them being the science area. The residential district is much more utilitarian and then lived in over the top. So as you go through, unlike cargo handling, which still has panels around and the odd safety precaution here and there, you go through large doors, which are big crank handle for making sure that if you close them, if there's a leak, all of them left open. Because people have lived here a long time, they're very much used to it. Nothing's particularly badly happened other than the small areas and compartments that have had very slow leaks that have been sealed off or fixed. With that, you walk through, there's probably about 4 of these big doors you go through before you end up in more of the residential area. The reactor being very well protected against leaks like that. The residential area is much more big, expansive areas, tubes connecting them, and then big gantries over probably mostly 2-story high, big metal boxes. These gantries normally have like bits missing, like the odd railing here or there, like someone's put up some tape to be like, yeah, that's a railing missing. The gantries themselves, like plates in places where they've run out of like the actual grates. And you notice it's much more lived in with people having put like spray painted bits here and there, some artwork that someone has done on like some cheap paper, the odd flickering like neon sign. You see one ahead, which merely just says bar. It's probably the only bar in the entire station now. And everything else seems a little bit more like run down, etc. The only thing open at this time of night would be the bar. If you want to then like go and try and find people, you could go to the actual living quarters, which are a little bit further on. But the only one available right now is a bar with a big sort of pink-purple neon sign with the R flickering like. The A is like kind of faded, like with an old neon tube. The B is still pretty bright.
I go, you drink?
Yes.
Shit, don't we all?
Cheers to that. Come on. And I actually kind of bring you in the bar. Kind of like actually gesture you in. And I call for a round as soon as we enter and find a spare table, if there is one.
You see Chrissy Lopez, the bar owner and ex-veteran, kind of at the bar, like just sitting there talking to someone else who you would recognize very quickly as, where are they? Passon Grau, another veteran that came over roughly the same time. They seem to spend most of their time together.
Chris, a round of turpentine.
Sure, Kowalski. You want anything with that?
You like lemon, Rogers?
Yes, he does.
You got lemons down here?
No, we have hopes and dreams, Peterson. Put them in a clean glass.
Fair enough. Have it yourself. You want lemon with that? Lemon.
Yeah. Sure, you can spritz it up.
Gets you each a glass. Sprinkles like a little bit of this lemon powder into each. Just like gives it a stir with like the spoon. Just knocks it one side, puts it back, brings them over, puts them in front of you. I'll put it to your tap.
Wait, how you doing today?
Same as I do every day. You know? Fine. Had a young kid in a little bit earlier named Sven. Interested to see someone from off world. It's been a while.
Oh, you had a little one in.
19 years old or so.
Interesting.
Lopez, this is Mr. Rogers.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hi there, Mr. Rogers. Don't we get people around here saying Mr. people?
Well, he's real important. And I cheers.
Yeah, I pick it up and I.
Clink.
Oh, don't mind the floaters. It's
Are you my drill sergeant? Are you my father?
No,
And you ain't important to me, but nice to meet you.
Chrissy, he could potentially get you a raise.
Yeah, I'm here from the company. He's expecting a response and he doesn't get it. He's like,
So, we're being hospitable.
Fair enough. Well, in my bar, I'm always hospitable to you. If I can get you anything. She's like got shaved head, little bit like scarred, but not much. Just like very kind of worn skin, seen some adverse atmospheric conditions. Built. Very built.
I want to know more about this sickness. He was talking earlier about, you saying civilized people? And
that's not what I was saying.
Please continue.
well, I just wanted to know what rumors you heard about this, the treatment of people, whether or not they're feeling well, and
Well, I hear a
what you
lot of
can do
shit
for 'em.
going on sometimes. Rumors, everything in my bar happens here. So you can imagine I get a lot of shit going on. What's true and what's false ain't my decision. I come here for a nice quiet backwater. Do you want some rumors or do you want some facts? Because I don't deal in facts, unfortunately.
I would do to get a feel for what the workers are thinking. What's
Well,
their view on the whole.
The reactor's old, it's making people sick. There's radiation everywhere. And the mining process...
Proven yet?
Sure, but calm your heels, girl.
She's like, my research is not done. Yeah. There's no hypothesis yet.
Like I said, I deal in rumors and not facts. I ain't going to get into your business, you don't get in mine. Alright, so, like I said, the mining process, people say a lot of things about what it brings off. You know, uranium and stuff like that. We've used that plenty of times in my business, and it always causes some adverse effect, even if it's either shooting it into someone at high speeds. Plenty of people pissing blood in my bar, whether it's one beer too many or too many punches, I don't know, but...
It's a lot of punches.
Hey, some people take a lot of punches, but down. Look at Passengrau. Passengrau's just there at the bar, built, very quiet, stoic, looking over, just dark, hooded eyes.
He mostly just needs more sleep.
Yes.
Something we would get if we didn't have to
Don't
work
we
so
all?
long.
Well, if you follow processes.
We're under capacity. 71 people on a 120-man operating mission. So we're overworked.
I did hear you were suffering some losses, but we brought new people in when we with the buyout. We've
It takes time for them to
bolstered.
get acclimated.
Yes.
You gotta give people a reason to want to be here. I came here because it was cheap and the company offered incentives to open a bar.
A good bar.
The only bar, the best bar.
That's right. Cheers to that. I raise my glass again. Tink.
Moran smiles.
I sip whatever weak thing I got.
It's probably because you're somewhat important, it would be imported. It's not great, but it's reasonable.
There's like a special box for like this, like only for company personnel. And I'm like,
Yeah.
You get the Lopez, although she comes across relatively gruff, like she understands how important you are and understands that like not to piss people off who are new here or people who actually have positions of
Yeah.
power.
I mean, that could. You know what? I say, I appreciate your time.
What?
Yes,
What
thank
were
you
you
very
going
much.
to say?
I wait till she walks away. And I say, you know, that could be a way for us to up production if we just had enough people.
It is true, they are understaffed.
Yeah, we could just
Has-
keep people happy.
Taking a toll on their schedules.
And I don't know anything about your money or whatever, but I can tell you, if production is the issue, that could be one way. Maybe just hiring more people is cheaper than installing the putting up a new facility to crush the minerals.
Yeah, man, ship some of the migrants up here. Underpay them. Come on.
I slam the table. Not here. We are going to pay everybody, regardless of where they come from. Their worth.
Yeah, they're worth, but they're not trained. They have to learn here through gut and grind.
I wasn't trained.
You've been here 20 years, Vera.
Right. Everybody deserves that opportunity to learn.
I think what he's saying is that they start at a lower pay and they earn
They
their
earn
way.
it up. They earn it up. Like
We can
interning.
we can try and work on some training things, apprenticeships, perhaps for slightly older workers. But the issue that the company has with an approach like that is it's a too many cooks kind of situation. Diminishing returns. Every extra person you add adds less to the actual profits.
But if we were able to bring in groups at a time and train them with a process, I think that would help.
I like that.
Perhaps. If there's machines going unused because they simply don't have the people to man them, then in that case perhaps we could work on things.
Not
I know you.
necessarily machines that aren't manned, it's people.
People working too many damn hours. People are
not
making
like that.
mistakes because they're not getting enough sleep.
Some of the machines need some work.
Yes, they need to be researched.
So-
Well, if they're going to
Jeffrey,
want to,
you would know you're trapped in a vicious cycle here because you need to prove to the company that this place can make money or will make money and be productive, and one runs like a machine for them to want to invest to
Alright.
get extra people here.
But sir, I have put together some proposals.
oh,
I'm
excellent.
not quite finished
yes.
yet because, well, my research isn't complete.
I just want to say, I don't always agree with Kowalski, but couldn't that be an option?
There's a reason.
Can't we take a sip of my drink? Can't we talk about a way to maybe tier pay the people on this place that have been mining for so long? Can't they just get more, and the new ones that we bring in earn less? It's an incentive.
Perhaps yes, we could work on some kind of
Just get more?
We can insert them on board.
reward-based system for better work, that kind of thing, and rearrange
The lights
the,
flicker.
what's
Wait
that?
about 10 seconds.
Like the light's just gone out.
You'll get used to
They
it.
flicker a bit for about 12 seconds and then
You'll get used to it. It happens a lot.
flickers again. Comes back
Like I
on.
was saying, there are some equipment that, well, needs some work.
Yeah, so there was some new power management equipment being installed, so perhaps that'll solve whatever that
Flickers
was.
again.
There's still two places I think we should check out. We can hang out in this bar all day long, but I think we should check out health and regulations, and then we should show them recreational.
Kowalski, we know you're all about recreation.
Or the
we'll
lack
get
thereof.
there.
There's not shit there. Hell, our basketballs are deflated.
Would you like to see some of the living quarters?
Yes, let's keep moving.
Are you gonna finish that?
No, it's
She downs it.
I
Waste nothing.
move mine towards you too.
Waste nothing.
Okay. As you all stand up, let's go out.
Oh, god damn it.
How long do I have to wait for this one?
This one's a little longer.
Do I have like a radio?
It's at the top of the
or
hour
is there
already.
any kind of comm system?
I need to comment different scheduled places that people
places.
call in.
Ava, can you look into what's happening?
Ava, lights. Does she have like any kind of light on her body that could just give our area, our general area?
We should all have, I'm guessing we should all have like at least the
Do we
arm
have
light.
the arm light?
Little arm light.
Like, okay, yeah, I tap my arm light.
That's
You get a tiny bit of light around you. It's just enough for you to see
See
what you're
where
doing.
you're going.
fucking
Yeah,
running
into
I
people.
want to get us out of the bar at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also notice that it's very quiet. You can hear people doing stuff, but there's no sounds of like stuff going on in terms of like the main machinery.
Does a outage like this happen frequently?
Very, very rarely. And normally comes back on pretty quick.
Riders, you know what they call this place? They call it the 50-50. Because it's about that much of a chance of whether or not that it's going to go under, and we're all just going to get sent back to some shithole that we don't want to be at anyway.
Well, that's what I'm trying to prevent.
Doesn't sound like you're trying very hard, sir.
He just got here.
Let's cut him a little bit of slack.
As you know,
You are
Mr. Peterson.
explaining yourselves very well from what I hear, but this man ain't listening.
Maybe he is listening. I can have hope.
I'm trying to take it all in. The issue I have is that I have a budget of essentially nothing to do this, so I've got to try and get something out of this.
So he's
What
got
we
nothing
have.
for you.
Well, where's the take and give?
If
If-
I may, whenever you're done getting your tour, I'll run you through some of my proposals.
Yes, the thing is, if I can prove to them that this has that this can keep going, get more profitable, then we can get some more funding in here. We can get some more people and some more facilities and everything.
The lights are still off. It's a little creepy walking around trying to figure out what's going on. I want everyone to take a point of stress.
Does it normally take this long? This thing?
It doesn't, and I guess I should go figure out what's happening.
I feel like
Oh yeah, that's probably smart just to die. I'm
Being in
gonna
the dark
mark
is
it.
relatively normal. Do we need to take stress?
Not when it's this place where it shouldn't be off anything more than a few seconds.
Okay.
I have
This is a very stressful experience as you're all kind of talking, chatting, and then suddenly it's very dark. There is literally no light other than the slight glow from your armband, which just allows you to see just about like someone's face right in front of you. There are actually emergency lights designed for long-term use, so they only give off a tiny bit of light, and very much like you could maybe read something if you like held it up like that.
yeah. Okay. I would know where the nearest comm is.
Open my data pad and turn on light.
Okay, a little bit of light, a little bit more, but you can't really see particularly far, but it will give you a bit more light.
Once lights in our feet, do we still feel Bertha rolling?
No,
Is it off?
there's no reactor.
Oh.
As you can tell, there's no woo, woo in the background.
In the back-
Constant sound, something that spaces particularly, and people who've lived in this colony for a while, very much aware of. When power dies, so does the colony, so does the ship.
You should probably check on that. I will try to keep everyone else calm.
Can I crack some light tubes? Just like some of the UV small light tubes that they keep.
Oh yeah, those.
You would only have them if they're in your gear, otherwise you'd have to get them.
I would imagine that they're at least in some of the main rooms on the wall, like in.
He's a marshal. He probably knows where they're
Yeah.
stored.
Yeah, you know where they're stored, but in a facility this old, where people have kind of been very short supplies,
Can I
there
get
would be. You'd have to go back probably to your office, which would be near the main hub. But yeah, you're
Okay.
not too far from there.
I lean back into the bar and I say to Chrissy.
Lopez.
Yeah, Chrissy. Right. I lean in and I go, Chrissy,
What the fuck's going on?
I'm gonna work on it. Just do me a favor. Will you be kind and keep him here?
Sure, if they buy a drink.
I reach in my pocket for what is probably very little coin, and I slap it on a table. You can hear just the click.
My hand. Push her back. I'm like, I got it. It's okay.
And I clap you on the shoulder to let you know, I'll be right back. And it seems the reactor has stopped working.
Isaac, if you want to come with me, let's go get some lights.
What, sorry?
If you want to come with me, we can go get some light tubes.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you a hand.
Maybe when the lights are back, you could take him to the lab.
Yes, I'll do that.
I will meet you there. And I probably know these hallways like the back of my hand at this point, even in the dark.
Yeah. For you especially, you and Kowalski particularly would be
yeah.
able to know like roughly where everything is and where you are just by seeing like a bit of void. Be like, I recognize that dent, that
Yeah.
like graffiti tag, etc.
Even in the dark, Kowalski probably feels Santos like grip his collar a little bit and pull him close.
So just end Kowalski feels Santos.
Yeah, yes, in the dark. Pulls him kind of close for a very for a whisper, and she says, "Something's wrong."
Yeah, I know.
And I kind of push him off and start. You can hear my boots pick up and pace. It's not a walk; it's a slight run.
Okay.
And I don't know which scene you want to go on first, because they're going somewhere else. She's going somewhere else, and we're staying.
You two are staying, so I'm gonna stay with you for the moment. Santos starts to move, not legging it, but pretty quick considering it's pitch black, other than the slight glow. She's pretty much sure that she can be like, right, I know the corridor's gonna turn here, and there's gonna be a hatch here, and so she's moving pretty quick for someone in the dark. You two head off, a little bit slowed down by having someone who's unfamiliar, but you know roughly where you're going. Your office not being far away. It's surprisingly one of the few areas where there's a residential room and an office right next to each other near the hub, as opposed to being further back in the residential because of your job. So you're not too far away, and you start heading in that direction. You two, you stay in the bar. Chrissy brings over a couple of drinks.
Thank you.
Do you want me to leave you alone and have some?
So
It's perfectly fine. We'll be all right. The lights are just out.
So if I'm to understand this correctly, you're saying the reactors just failed? Is this normal?
I don't think it is, but Santos is very capable, and so is her team.
Perhaps they've had some trouble with the new power couplings they've installed. Maybe just some teething issues there in that case.
That actually makes a lot of sense. It's probably nothing.
What about the normal kind of flickers? Like what's causing them?
I don't know the exact cause of it. Santos would probably know a little bit more, but I think it has to do with some type of electric issue that they have. They don't have the best equipment here, if you haven't noticed.
I'd like to get some more information about that. I don't like the idea of the power flickering, especially if sometimes it can a bit more than flicker.
This is rare. I've only seen it a few times here. And I've been here for about 2 months. But if you have any other questions, I'm here to answer, and I'd love to run you through proposals.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of reports I need to take a look at about this whole thing.
I've made quite a few. My research is not complete yet, that's for sure. But so far, I haven't found any of the things that Santos is on about. I think it's for them. They don't know it. They don't understand the biology of it. They're emotional.
Yeah, I can. Emotions are definitely running high here. That's I think I understand that. When are these proposals? When are these reports going to be ready?
I knew that you were going to be here, so I preliminary made 3 of them. Obviously, they are contingent on the information that we currently have and the analysis that we currently have from the research, but they're proposals nonetheless.
I mean, the reports that you're still working on. I'd like a time frame. Talking weeks, months.
Well, I have been sending reports monthly and weekly updates.
I've been checking on some of those. Yes.
I can't give you a deadline in the case of when we'll find something, though. So far, we've found nothing.
All right. Well, that sounds positive, at least on the health front. If we can get that knocked on the head, I think that'll help with morale at the very least, and then we can see about working on efficiency.
If you want, by the
By
way,
nothing, I mean-
to try and convince his character, and if you want to be like actually see if you are convinced as a character, you can totally call for a manipulation roll. Manipulation isn't just like lying; it's also just manipulating someone to see something your way, whether it's truth or facts or lies or manipulation in any form. You can totally call for him to like say, "Hey, do you want to do a manipulation roll and see just how well I come across?" If you want.
I'm not sure who you're asking, because we're both just like,
Yeah.
I know.
company is right.
I know. I'm giving you that heads up. Like it is an option going forward. You seem to be vaguely on the same page though.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement. I'm just trying to keep him calm because he's
we're
like,
both
what's
just
happening here?
With the Wayland Yutani reassurance loop of everything's
Yeah.
fine. Yes,
Yeah,
everything's fine. Yes, it
everything's
is
gonna be
fine.
fine, yeah.
Everything's gonna be okay.
You left the 2 people
Yeah.
alone who
Yep.
were like...
Okay.
We just go on like that for a while.
I think that Moran does give some context of where Santos and Kowalski are going and like the living conditions. She kind of basically describes things that he would see and what the living conditions are and maybe some of the highest treatments that she's had to have taken care of and if there's any pattern in those, but I'm so far there haven't been, right?
Is Ava here with us?
Ava's standing there.
I'm like, Ava, where exactly is Sophie right now?
In her room.
Is this a station-wide power failure?
As far as I can tell, yes.
I'd like to see if I can get to my quarters then, so that I can tell her everything's okay. I imagine she's possibly a bit distressed about this.
How will Santos and Kowalski find you?
Well, Santos told me that when the lights are back, we will head up to the lab. I'll join you, if you don't mind, sir.
All right. Yes. Well, we'll go check on Sophie and make sure she's got some light.
I'm good with kids.
Sophie actually has a personal transponder beacon, I believe. If you want to be able to just know where she is.
Nice.
A personal locator beacon.
Okay. I don't have a detector device. Perhaps Ava can do that.
She's in the quarters.
Right, excellent. Yes. But Leah's there.
Very well.
We're like the most calm group. It's gonna be chaos when you go to the
yes.
Ava literally can't get stressed, so...
It's like everything is fine. This is just routine. It's all. I think I've got one stress die.
She says it stresses Santos out. Her constant Santos is like.
One stress doesn't really do very much. Like, one stress is very much like you're kind of like, well, this is a bit unsettling, but, you know.
Any stress means you can panic.
One stress means that you can only panic at 7 if you roll the worst on the panic roll, and 7 is just you a bit nervous, so... Right, in which case you start heading off. I think we'll cut to Santos because you're alone.
Can I have gone with Santos because those are my parts?
Only if you can keep up.
He runs.
In the dark.
Well, you
I got an arm. I got an arm. Yeah. Yeah, he's welcome to come with.
To try and keep up with her and not fall over, make
shit.
a mobility roll.
Mobility.
Yep.
Blah.
Remember to include your stress die. So the way stress works in this game is that when you make a roll, you include your stress die. Your stress die have the 6s as normal dice, but they also have a 1. If you roll any 1s, you panic, and something can happen.
And that is on top of the skill dice we already have.
Yes. So as you get stressed, you get more dice, so you get better, because you push
got
the limit.
2 6s.
2 6s, including the 6 on
I
stress.
need to have another look at the stunts.
Mobility. Give 1 6 to someone in a similar situation, +1, or impress someone.
Yeah, I am going to impress Santos.
Yeah, he jogs up behind you. You think you lost him like a while ago.
Yeah.
He just finds you again.
Okay. I guess you've decided to come along.
Well, you'll need a lot of help down here. And I think I might know some of the parts.
There's like probably a bit of a pregnant pause in between the running of feet, and she says, I appreciate that and respect it.
Well, you know, we gotta stick together.
You sure you don't want a job?
I can help down here. Because the dollars pays pretty well. My share is quite high on a rather large ship.
Tell me, do you, as we're like running, she goes, tell me, do you, you fly all the rocks off this planet?
Well,
You are taking some cargo away.
Or
because
this, what are we on? It's a planet or a moon?
It's a moon.
It is a moon. Yeah, off this moon?
I got stuff to take with me, sure. What do you want?
She goes, no, I'm interested. Where do you take them?
Well, they go to the ship, then there's a processing facility all the way out at the edge of the reticular system, so,
There's not a closer one.
There wouldn't be even the reticular system. You have to leave the system, actually.
I gotta leave the system. That's just a waypoint. Correcting himself.
Refuel station.
These refining facilities, I don't know anything about them.
Big.
Not my
Noisy.
usual, but would it be, say, cheaper than installing one on a rock?
Well, it's already got going, so I don't know. I'm just a pilot. I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that if you want to prove to that guy that what's going on here is gonna help you out, you gotta find the upper hand in this here situation.
She goes, well, I've been trying to find the upper hand for 20 years.
You get to a big, thick door that seems to be one of the safety doors that's been slammed in place.
Calm.
Nothing happens. No light. No power.
There's no power.
Is that guy James around here?
We're gonna find out. I go on the door.
Okay.
Any response? I'm sure that there's some kind of protocol if power goes out in terms of communication.
Boom. 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 On the other side.
Okay. I go stand back. And I break out my torch. I got a cutting torch.
Oh my gosh, she's cutting towards the door open. Yes, what a badass.
I got to. I gotta get in.
Okay.
into it.
Yeah,
Right.
She's like the complete opposite
she
of my
rolls up her
character.
sleeves. Her muscles don't glisten because it's dark.
Damn.
There's also, you've got the jack, right?
I do have a jack. Is that what that is?
warm.
Is that for like?
Check your item sheet.
It's like a winch.
It's a winch. It doesn't. It just gives stats. Okay, so it's like a winch. Okay, actually that's probably better. That way the door's
Maintenance
not
check.
damaged.
Common tool used to open unpowered airlocks and divert power to or from electrical junction boxes.
Oh, to.
It's a +1 modification to heavy
Oh,
machinery in
so you
relevant
put the box in
situations.
there. Oh, okay.
It's basically like a way to try and like clip into the box and then like override it.
Perfect. Is that box on this side the power supply?
It will give you a +1. If you want to use the cutting torch, I'd say that'd be instead, but that gives you a +2, but it will permanently fuck the door.
Exactly, and she would not want to do that because she knows they're never going to replace the door. They've never replaced
heavy
the door in
machinery
20 fucking
+1.
years. Okay, so machinery plus heavy machinery +1.
And includes your stress dice.
Okay, so 1 stress die, 5 for strength. Yes.
And this is a big, thick, solid door, so to say a -1 because it's a door designed to clip in place.
3, so -1. All right. Oh, wait.
Go on.
Too many die. That one's not, doesn't count. So I got 1, 6, a bunch of 1s.
Oh, you got a 1 on the panic
got
dice,
one on
though.
the
Oh no!
Panic die, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yikers,
That was
no
stress
stress
roll,
dice.
yeah. There's 1s and 2s.
Okay, panic action. If you roll blah 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 blah, roll a 1d6 and add your stress level. So 1d6 plus 1.
I feel like I need my popcorn for this.
1d6 plus 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 4 with the 1.
Keep it together. You manage to keep your nerves together in check, barely. Like you start like clipping in, your hands shaking a little bit as you're not used to this. This is very disconcerting. You are so used to reactivating on all the time. You are aware more than anyone how dangerous this is.
Yeah.
You start clipping in. It takes you a while. There's a little bit of shaking here and there, but you do clip in. You don't fail the roll because it doesn't prevent you from doing that. And eventually, it takes a while, so it takes like 10, 15 minutes, but you do manage to get to go clunk. And then like you see like people like putting hands in and pushing it from the other side as you kind of join in and.
Oh, I probably put a foot on it and like press.
You see like this oiled muscle go as there's people inside with torches like backlighting you as you manage to open the door and see inside, and you just get like several people shouting over each other going, "The reactor died. Don't know what happened. The whole entire
She goes,
thing
quiet!
freezed."
I like yell over them. I'm like, I need a report. Who's first in line in terms of shift right now?
That would probably be might actually be Schaefer.
Is it
He's been there a
Schaefer?
while.
I go, Schaefer, cut the shit. Tell me what's happening.
Entire fucking reactor fused.
Womp womp.
Did an emergency dump.
You did an emergency dump.
I did it automatically. Computer fried, froze up, and then the entire thing just shut down, dumped itself.
The power for this station comes from the reactor. Fucking A. She goes, okay. She's like, she goes, all of you, head back to your, oh God, what would be the right thing to do? Okay.
We need help right now. We need to get this reactor moving.
She goes,
I'm rolling up my sleeves like, let's get it
we're
started.
gonna need more light. And I say, you, and you. Go help Kowalski find some light. Bring it down here. You, and you.
Come on.
Roll your sleeves up.
Command roll, also, because you now know how bad the situation is, stress point, stress point, stress point.
We don't know.
Sorry, no, not there. Sorry, stress point, stress point.
so that's
Not you.
Somehow I know.
You know.
Someone's
feel
doing a
something.
command roll.
I mean, me.
Don't
Schaefer.
worry. You're about to get your stress point when you find out that your daughter's not actually there.
No!
3 and
Don't.
1. Plus my stress
She's not even
die.
aliens yet, man. She's just
That's
gonna
how it's
panic and
gonna kill
run.
us. Is the stress.
Oh, those are
Two
just
ones?
bad. I got 3
3
ones.
ones and on one stress
both
die.
of them.
A stress die. And do you know sixes?
No sixes.
No sixes.
Sixes. Okay, roll me a d6 plus your stress level.
3.
Okay, 5. You keep it together. You panic a little bit. Your voice, there's ever so slight shake as you try and issue orders. People stand around. Some of them are milling. They don't really hear you very well over the din.
I hear
and
that.
three was
I'm
the
gonna-
total as well.
It's okay.
It was 3
I'm
total.
here for you.
Okay, yes, fine.
And I am going to try and get a couple of people.
die.
I see like some of the bare circuits and stuff that they've clearly been messing with where the repairs are, and I'm going to try and organize them and start them like actually getting their hands in there and
Yeah.
doing
Right.
dangerous stuff.
All right, cool.
Make sure this
Yeah.
happens.
She just claps.
And-
Yeah. Oh man. She just claps and goes, "Get! Let's go!"
I'm going to use personal safety though,
Ooh.
so that I don't get hurt.
Okay, sure. Make a command roll.
And hopefully they do.
What?
So that is
And hopefully they do. Hopefully no one
4.
gets hurt.
It's not really that situation, so it's kind of fine.
Yeah, that's
Might need
7.
a doctor now.
Got interested in that.
You got all your stress die? Yeah. There you go. Oh, crazy.
Okay,
Wow.
3 successes, but roll a d6 plus your 2.
And one.
4. You keep it together. You do like your voice crackles a little bit as you try and like get over everyone that little bit hoarse in the back of your throat because of the climate.
I gather
It's
as many
just about-
people and like force them to work on this.
Okay, heavy machinery. Command roll with 3 successes.
I
right?
immediately come to
that
help
is a
them.
manipulation roll.
Manipulation. Okay.
Does more
manipulation.
than asked for. I would like to do,
Yep.
and they get their hand in there. I would like them to.
You can do so. 1 success is a success, and then 2 successes are just done. Does more than asked for, and do you want them to be impressed? Will help later, or target doesn't demand a favor in return.
Target doesn't demand a favor in return. Does more than asked for,
Okay.
and I would like to ask that they get their hand in there.
Yeah.
Someone gets like horribly burnt.
Okay.
Why would you want that?
Like they start like playing with the electronics and trying to do this and that and the other.
trust him.
One of them like starts to toy with it. It's much more of a command role to try and put themselves in harm's way, but some of them will at least try.
Because that's the point of
Pushes them. No.
Okay, let me look at
point of
the
personal
talent
safety.
thing.
Huh?
I'll look at the talent thing if I can.
The talent thing?
yeah.
Oh, I've got it.
Oh, you got it.
I need to look at the talent one there because I need to look at its comparison to several others.
Talent.
Talent. You got it in your hands on that one, yeah.
Just keep the talent.
Yeah, we've got our
The point is
Yeah, I
that
got them on my phone.
I'm rolling to make other characters suffer hazards.
If you are attacked or otherwise end up in fatal danger.
Well,
Yeah, so that they're not attacked or in fatal danger.
Characters
So-
don't know about how to character.
But like, they certainly like. It's not a command role, so it's not like you're commanding people. But some of them are like, yeah, he's right. Like we can have a look at the reactor, and there's like someone walks off and starts playing the reactor and so on, and he just comes back a few minutes later going, the talking's fucked.
Well,
she says now that is no way to fix this problem.
Look at the.
you know what will fix this? It's going and telling that you tiny boy what's what.
Well, that new guy with the tie and
Shiny white.
I immediately grab him, I immediately just slam your body against the wall. I do the same thing with the other one. And I was like, this is no time to be talking politics and what we should be doing. T-minus 12 hours, we're gonna die. So get with the program. This place will overheat.
12 hours?
Yeah, 12 hours. About 12 hours without the reactor working. We will have a major problem on our hands.
You saying this
I don't
ain't
know that.
political?
Huh?
Your lives ain't political?
I'm saying that this is way more important than him going and yelling at some tie wearing helping hand. So why don't I help you? And I said, you go help them, and I just kind of point for him to run after a bunch of other people, and I'll kind of put my hands in to start helping and try to figure out what the situation is.
make a. You don't even need to make a roll. You know this reactor well enough. It takes you about 5 to 10 minutes. It's
Okay.
very evident that parts of it have fused, straight up melted under intense heat, and that's why it dumped core, because it couldn't maintain the containment anymore.
So it has nothing to do with the new part that came in.
No. The
Not the
new
Jackie
part is like a bit melted, but it looks like the entire reactor effectively overheated. The parts started to melt, and that's when it was like, I can't keep containing it anymore. Emergency dump containment.
Why overheat though?
Yeah, it got too hot.
Why did it overheat and get too hot? You wouldn't be able to tell without any power, unfortunately, to do a
Right,
diagnostic.
to be able
run.
to do a dissect-
You could take the entire reactor apart. That would require radiation suits and would probably take about a day. That's the downside.
That is the downside. Do we have I'm guessing we have radiation.
So you would have some suits that reduce radiation, but
Okay.
you might not have a day.
Right, we wouldn't have a day. Okay, I tell you all this. I point and I was like, look, it overheated. That doesn't happen. It's not supposed to, anyways. Even the new part is already burned. That means this is extremely high heat. Something is leaking. I'm guessing. She's assuming that something is either leaking from, like, up.
Could be. Reactor could get blocked. New part could be dysfunctional of some kind. There are a number of things.
Great. You sure this part's working? The new one was functioning?
You aren't an expert in the part. You just brought
I
the
just
package.
delivered what I got. Look,
I just do the delivering. I don't know about the mechanics.
She goes, look, I like your vibe, your style, right? I like your style, but I'm gonna be real fucking honest with you here, friend. This is bad.
Little
okay.
alien spit.
I got an idea.
Blood.
You say there's leaks. I look in, like, see fluid dripping, right, or whatever.
No. It's a fusion reactor, so when it dumps
it's-
core, it dumps it and it dumps it outside and
Gross.
mixes it with the water.
Okay, there's.
The entire thing's a big sealed container that's no longer making any sound.
It would kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd all be dead.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the core. I'm just talking about the mechanical parts outside of that.
Yeah. You see like people stripped off bits of housing and looked inside, etc.
Can I remove pieces, like the pieces that seem to have been melded together? Can I remove them?
No, it's several of the internal bits, like inside the cladding. That's the problem. The heat is inside the cladding. The cladding then stops the radiation getting out, so you'd have to remove cladding to get in there. This is the problem running on a shoestring budget, running one reactor.
Right.
Which is why Will and Yutani paid to install the second reactor.
They got that fancy lab, right?
There is a secondary reactor in the lab. It should have kicked on.
Strip it for parts.
You're right. She goes, Doing that, we'd still have to take it apart radiation suits to replace the piece itself.
You could do that to replace pieces itself, or you might be able to end up, like, if you can find the reactor and if it's working, you could then just route power from it.
Okay, just reroute power.
It would presumably be, from what you vaguely know, it would be a smaller reactor, so it might not be able to do everything, but it would certainly be able to do something.
She goes, well, at least if nothing else, the smaller reactor would allow us to at least bypass power long enough to run a diagnostic and figure out how the hell this happened.
Let's get to it.
Anybody that's still in here working, I say, this room is, she says, the reactor's quarantined until I get back. Stay out of here, all of you.
I don't think any of them would need commanding or complaining. So
Perfect.
They agree. They're all very aware that a broken reactor is a bad thing to be around.
Yeah, and she turns, and she goes, you coming?
I'm with you.
Slides the door closed, and make sure that it stays that way. Yeah, if she can, like, I guess she can't push it back too close, but I want to close this area off.
Kowalski, you go to your room. You can easily grab a few things you've got there. What do you want to do?
I want to be able to make sure that I have all of my excess clips, just in case any kind of
Sure. You get your spare reloads.
break out. I want to get flashlights, any kind of torch or anything like that I might need to. Clip lights.
Yeah, you can get like a torch as like a bolt on to the magnum.
Okay. I think that's about it. Make sure that I have all my keys on myself.
Yep. You also get the key that can be combined with the administrator key to access some of the more secure areas.
Yeah.
It also can be used in a pinch to override and get into the areas that normally Santos would have for maintenance, and some of the more like esoteric provisions that haven't been cracked out in ages.
When was the last time we've had a shipment of anything in?
Today.
Before today.
Before today, 2-3 months ago.
We haven't had anything like this happen, right?
Reactor fusing? No, hell no. Never happened.
It's never happened in the time that I've been here.
And if, in the time that the 2 months I've been here, probably the lights have gone out. But
We've had a couple of flickerings. for
Like,
maybe 10
lights haven't
seconds.
gone out in the time you've been here. That's a very bad sign. It's probably gone out for like a few seconds in the last few years that you remember. But flickering is a little bit more common.
I'm going to withhold my immediate suspicions, but I may be aware of how Wayland Yutani will look at this situation, and you're gonna see kind of like doubt shadow him at this point. Like, there's something sus about this. Definitely gonna make sure that I'm armed.
Sure. And people are going to panic at very least.
Yeah.
A place like this, you're very aware that this is not good, and everyone else who's lived here long enough will be fully aware. So you leave. As you're starting to walk towards a residential district, you notice a very concerned Santos and Peterson walk out and are busy like jamming this door shut as they turn around, seeing you guys and Ava. Kowalski, you're actually
but we're going to the.
residential. Oh, you're going further into residential.
Yeah.
Good point.
So I don't think we see them because
You'll be going further residential, yeah. You guys then will be bumping into Kowalski a little bit later, just as you start heading around, because you've got to go around the hub. Kowalski, as you come out, your office is pretty near that door.
Okay.
You come out, you notice them starting to head away.
Did you need those?
Yeah, I know.
I look right at Kowalski and I said, we are fucked.
And that's where we're going to go to our...
Okay, I like that.
That's the end of Act 1. So we're going to go to a break. I'm going to say the break's probably going to be 15 minutes. I need to talk to each of the cast because they have personal agendas and objectives for each act with their characters, which I need to update them on as they change each act. Anyone who actually succeeds in a personal objective gets a story point, which can be used to add 1 success to any dice pool during any later point by spending it. So I'm going to go through everyone, and we're going to go to a short break. We'll also play a Medicine Sans Frontier video because we're still raising money for them. If you want to donate, hopefully we can get to twice our goal, twice our last year, which would be
We
dumb.
can do it, we can do it.
Just because that would be dumb. But we'll leave you with that break
By
now.
dumb,
Back in
he
about
means
15. Dumb awesome, yes. So take it away.
That gold.